seconds in is snapped up. So Peterson gets the call this morning, making her first save on that opportunity coming down the wing. Broken up at the blue line. Brought in over the line by Rink to try to play it in towards the corner. Late wing to wing. Urquhart able to get up to the red line, pitching it in towards the corner. That cycled here around the cage. He's up and out of the zone. Played right back in deep. Mount able to get a hold of it. A breakout here. Caught up in the skates of Culligan. Back here at center ice by Mount. So Penny got knocked down in neutral ice. Let's take it in across the red line. Penny couldn't get to it. Reese Baker was trying to bring that puck in deep. In by McNeil. Comes around the wall. Dawson Smith ahead for RNS. And it's stolen by McNeil. She'll make sure she hits the red line, dumping this puck in. Peterson, nearly some trouble there. Is almost picked off. She tried to move it along on her backhand. This is held in inside the line by Mount. Pushed in deep for a backhand try. That was deflected just wide of the net. Kirsten McKinnon nearly found some space to the glove hand side of Peterson. She's McKinnon to turn along the near board. She'll filter it in deep as it was played out into the slot. Unable to get a stick on that was Ima Blanchard. As Lefebvre will move this into an open corner. RNS looking to break out. Smith will get this across the red line. McGogan can dump this puck in and around. Good pace to the start of this hockey game. 2.5 minutes gone by and no score. That's backhanded across Peterson's crease. Held in by Mount inside at the far blue line. Good play by Sydney Sass. Sass was in pursuit. Puck came around in the near side. Mount able to hold it in as it's back up to the point. Long shot stopped by Peterson. Going to get the blocker on that opportunity from Alyssa McKinnon. As this puck is out into the skates of Jayla Matthews. Trying to send a teammate in, but she couldn't find the tape of Claire Bettle. This will glide back down into the RNS zone. They'll clear it out off the boards. Quickly snap back in down the glass. Mount will look to get to it first. Back defending. Number 7, Charlie Underhill. Mount will keep this in at the point. It was worked over for Penny at the top of the right wing circle. She couldn't get a shot through. RNS now will carry this puck ahead, looking to chip and chase here. Played off the boards by Thomas. Emily Thomas will poke this puck along. Going to get back here in the corner. Got away from her. It couldn't be held in at the point. And ahead comes Mount, 1-on-3. As changes are being made here, trying to work that solo job was Blanchard up the ice. Back ahead here for a long shot that went wide off of Shanahan's stick. This puck sent down and wide of Peterson's net. Icing here with 15:45 to go in a scoreless first period. Off the face-off. Just played in deep and around the net. Logan was pinned along the boards. Dawson Smith trying to help her out, but Mount able to free this puck. They cannot connect with a pass up through neutral ice. It was intended for McNeil. Another icing. RNS will dump this puck around the Mount goal. They have not gotten a shot on net just yet here, 5 minutes into this game. They're looking to go to work here offensively. This puck will be worked just out to neutral ice. Trying to drag it out high in the zone was Claire Bettle. Be dumped back in. And her first touch, Patrick Yossi, starting goaltender for Mount. Still waiting for her first shot on goal. Sophie Peterson at the other end, a couple of saves already for RNS, who are on the move here. A chance to the short side. Yossi able to make her first save. She's calling for some help there with the net behind her. As that'll get adjusted, taking that to the goal was Sophie Urquhart. Urquhart in deep. Able to help that puck along as it's played back up to the point. Shot through traffic. Got blocked down in front. Never got on to the goaltender. But it nearly deflected off one of her own defenders and in as Mount will scrape this puck ahead. And it can be dumped into the zone by Kirsten McKinnon. As both teams will make some changes here. Still scoreless in this first period. That's broken up just inside the line and flopped forward. Out of the reach of Adriana Pepe. As this puck brought back in. Sass shooting wide to the glove side of Peterson. As Mount holds the zone back into the corner. Checked off of the puck there was Addison Greve. And comes RNS. Good stick from Sass across the red line, but it's muscled in deep. A stronger stick from Ella Bettle. It's tracked around to the near wing. Sass. Dangerous pass up the middle of her own zone. It was just deflected out past the blue line, and RNS will be offside as we've played nearly 7 minutes into this first period. 13:03 left from the New England Sports Village here in Attleboro. Happy to have you with us on this Friday morning as we officially kickstart another JWHL event. Great time a couple of months ago back in Canton. First JWHL event I was able to work, and happy to be back here now in the springtime. Kicked off day 1 of 3. This puck will drift back up to the point. Floated towards goal where it was deflected down low and wide to the stick side. It was Blanchard getting a touch there on the point shot coming in. Grabbed and brought ahead by Mount. Dribbled towards the crease. And rejected there by a good stick from Shanahan. That drive was blocked out of the zone by Matthews. RNS doing a good job as this first period's progressed to help out their goaltender. About 2 or 3 shots have gotten through onto the net. As this puck is brought in, McNeil falling forward. Took a shot wide to the stick side. It's held in. Brought across the blue line. Plenty of chops being absorbed. Katsulotis. This comes back for his shot. It's stopped by Peterson. McNeil getting that one through on net. Along the near side, McNeil covering the point. And that pop away from her. Good battle there. Along with Matthews, who will head off for a change after a long defensive shift. Yossi will cover this puck up in her crease on that long shooting, and will catch a breather as RNS was pinned back a bit defensively around Peterson, who had to come up with a save, denying McNeil point blank. Getting some help, though, from the defense in front of her. Good work, in particular, by Matthews, the forward. Urquhart will slip this puck back up to the point. Underhill nearly stripped at the line by Lefebvre. This puck is given away. Nearly gained the zone. Good swiping stick check coming there from Rhea Culligan, as Peterson will stop this puck for her defense. Backhanded along for Culligan. Off the skates of Urquhart. They'll take it in across the red line. Snap a puck in around the glass. Yossi couldn't come out to stop it as they'll kick back up here, far point. Back diagonal pass, a beautiful one, and they'll score! As they find Adrian Shanahan jumping in off the point. She's able to find the far glove corner, and RNS opens up the scoring with 10:44 to go in the first. Beautiful passing and beautiful finish all around for RNS. Emily Somerville going D to D on that high to low play. And the shot from Shanahan. A beauty, high glove to open up the scoring here for the visitors, who just a moment ago were on the back foot defensively. As this puck is bounced in wide of Peterson's net. Saps into the corner. Trying to get some help here. 2-on-2 in that near side. Puck comes back up to the point. Lawton rifles it around. Trying to hold it in near side, but Smith is able to force this puck out. That's Keandra Broughton. As it comes back up the middle. Picked off by Sass. Had that knifed off of her stick. Smith able to dump it in deeper to the Mount zone. This puck gets knocked down at center ice. Underhill trying to turn it back down the near side wall. As this will be scaled all the way down for an icing. As we are past the midway mark of this first period. 9:36 left from the New England Sports Village. The Norwood School ahead by 1 over Mount Academy. Adrian Shanahan with the game-opening goal. As Matthews on the backhand tried to pitchfork that towards goal. Held in by Somerville, who played that down the right wing side. Looking to get a puck out. Backhanded forward by Alyssa McKinnon. RNS inside their own line take over possession. Puck sent in deep. Yossi out of her net to stop it. It's pumped around to the left wing side. Get up through the red line traffic was Reese Baker. Brought back in here as this puck nearly rattled towards Yossi. It was pinballing around in the slot. Puck will deflect out. Sophia Lace will go D to D. Pass. It's off of McNeil. Urquhart able to dump this in as he gets through the goaltender. Yossi tried to come out and play this puck. It's stabbed in back of the net. Dougal, out of her own zone, couldn't connect cleanly on a pass. Culligan, off a set of legs. Sees it played away from her and back out to neutral ice. Good cancellation from Underhill. And RNS will backhand into an open corner. Dougal, all the way around to the far side, where once again a puck gets out to neutral ice. But Mount can't cleanly play it forward. Blanchard will backhand it in, stopped by the goaltender Peterson. Blanchard gets a takeaway inside the line. It comes back for McKinnon, who fires right on. And Peterson with the glove, able to make the save with 7.5 to go in this first period. Work from Lila Blanchard out high to force the turnover. And find Kirsten McKinnon from the right wing dot. Good opportunity trying to go to the short side. And Peterson will get a glove to that shot. As that was knocked down with a high stick. Next touched by a green sweater. Allows Blanchard to bring in and a long shot. Peterson will drop it out of her glove. Banked out of the zone by Shanahan. Helped all the way deep into Mount territory where McDougall will look to get a clear. Puck is held in. Looking in the left wing circle, trying to navigate through. I believe that was, it was Smith, excuse me. Not Shanahan, who has to get back defensively here. As Peterson this time will cover up on a stray puck. She had pressure coming in. Madison Grevy, the form of that pressure. Mount will force attacking zone face-off here. Grevy able to win the draw against Zealand. She'll wrap that puck around the boards. Sass from the corner. Trying to spin a backhand feed out towards the middle. Broken up and brought ahead by RNS. Thomas shoots and scores! Off the far, the near post rather, and in. And off the rush, RNS able to double up on the lead. As that shot was whistled in off the stick of Emily Thomas, who started the play from her own defensive zone. Carrying it all the way up the right wing side. She had help with her in a 2-on-1, but she took the shot all the way, and Thomas perfectly placed to the stick side. Open up a 2-0 lead here for the visitors with 6:20 and counting to go in this first period. Mount grabs this puck along the far wing, looking to center it. Taken back though by Somerville and moved ahead to Smith. She'll backhand this puck all the way down, and it will carry the length of the ice. Attacking zone faceoff coming up for Mount Academy, who trail by 2 here in this first period. RNS with a 2-goal lead, courtesy of goals from Shanahan and Thomas. Taken off the draw. Smith able to knock it down enough to get it out to center. Baker will dump this puck in. Lace at the boards, but not out. Puck is held in for a moment by Baker. She'll tie up there with her player along the far side. That was Kennedy, number 22, who was in there battling. Puck gets rifled down the ice off Lefebvre's stick. Line pressure Smith, almost got a takeaway there off the shin pads. Shanahan will chip this off the near side glass and down. Rejected by Mount just inside the blue line. Brought back ahead by Blanchard. Had that hacked off of her stick, and it got away from Lefebvre. Zealand now driving in. They're going to punch this puck in deep off the end boards. It's cleared out off McKinnon's stick. Mulligan trying to backhand it in deep. Sent forward from the red line by McKinnon. She'll peel back for a change. 4:40 to go in this first period. As Zealand, a pass just too far forward of Thomas. Thomas applying pressure onto Katsoulotis. He was able to rim that around the dasher. Mount unable to slip this puck out of the zone, but there's a penalty on the play here. And Mount will be getting a power play with 4:23 left in this first period as Thomas, the goal scorer, will sit 2 minutes for hooking. An opportunity late here in this first period. come out to try and get on the score sheet. Big time penalty kill coming up here for the green and white. As one of their goal scorers, Emily Thomas, University of New Brunswick commit. She will sit here for a 2-minute hooking penalty. They have not put the time up yet on the board. Clock is going to run, but the penalty time not up yet as a shot goes wide to the glove side of Peterson. Revy, a rink-wide feed that was just out of the reach of McDougall. It's taken to the outside by Sash. She'll tuck it back up to the point. Revy now near side. Couldn't get that through. Blocked off the skates of Shanahan. McDougall couldn't chop that through the traffic as she'll send it back around the wall. Revy, dangerous pass. Tried to leave it off into space, and Bettel able to break that up and get the clear. It was Claire Bettel, number 8, who will head off for a change. Brought in and dropped off. Revy weaving into the slot. Able to tap this puck back into the circle. Pepe will hand this off. Along the near hash. It's deflected up into the air and heading over the crossbar. Peterson, though, keeping to her skates. Able to reach up with the left hand and flag that puck down with 3:20 to go here in this first period. Should be 57 seconds left on the penalty to Thomas. Which came with 4:23 left here in the period. Out trying to keep this in along the near side, but it's broken up by Zeeland. And she'll carry this puck ahead. Amelia Zeeland with a shot, stopped down low by Giosi with the stick. McPhee just knocked off stride by Culligan. As that was knocked down by McNeil, stung her off the glove. As it's wrapped up to the line, kicked down by Alyssa McKinnon. Claire Bettel is able to take and clear this puck all the way down as time is winding down on this power play for Mount. About 10 seconds remaining here. As Pepe drilled hard to the net down that right wing side, played it off the outside of the cage. As Thomas is out of the box. 5 on 5 here as a shot comes in from Sass off the stick of Peterson. Kicked out of the zone by RNS. Possession back for Mount. Played ahead for Grevy. Driving in past Shanahan. Shot right on is kicked out by Peterson. Good stop there with the left pad. The puck gets pumped around. McDougall trying to hold the line with her skates, but it was muscled out of the zone. Back into Mount territory. Grevy gives up possession, and Sophia Lace can dump it in as we tick towards the final minute of this first period. It's stolen by Smith and shuffled on for Thomas. She'll cut in and fire. That was a headhunter there. Thomas looking for her second. She found back glass on that shot as it comes up towards the slot. Held in at the line by Shanahan. With $1:15 to go here in the first. Urquhart down to a knee. Sees the puck move past her. Pepe will clear out on the backhand and a foot race now. Sees a pair of players wipe out. Shanahan crashing into the boards. She had pressure onto her in the form of Herring. Herring will go to goal as Baker shoots. And that's scooped up by the goaltender Peterson. 48.3 left in this first period, and RNS ahead of Mountain Academy by a 2-0 score. And goals from Adrian Shanahan and Emily Thomas, who nearly had her second on that head-high shot. As Mountain going to win this attacking zone face-off. It's flung through the top of Peterson's crease. Herring will play it back to the point. Shot gets deflected down the wall. Herring able to recover. From the corner, she'll play it. 30 seconds to go in the period. Puck gets stabbed away. It's played out to the middle for Matthews. She lost it. Broughton, she fires towards goal. And Peterson, with 20 seconds to go in the period, will take no chances gloving down the shot. It's been a solid start for Peterson and for the green and white here. As off the draw, Quart will grab this puck. Looking for a chance here with a dozen seconds remaining. She gains the line left wing side. Still being ridden on as she takes this puck through the corners. Looking to center, but it deflects back behind the goal. Time will run out as we are through the first 20 minutes here from the New England Sports Village. And it's RNS ahead of Mount Academy by a 2-0 score as we'll take a quick breather and return here for the second period in just a moment. We're back underway. We don't yet have a fresh 20 minutes yet up on the board. But the second period is indeed underway. Mount looking to get right back to work as this shot comes in from distance and skips wide to the glove side of Sophie Peterson. This team has the 2-0 lead here. Looks to get possession of this puck out at center ice. Pepe unable to slip that through as it's played ahead to Thomas. Couldn't get a shot through as it was blocked down and now carried back in by Pepe, who was stood up nicely there. Good test from Underhill, the defender. As Mount flips this puck back in deep to the corner. It's played around to Underhill. Trying to go right up the middle. Zealand was unable to get any further there past the red line. As they'll play it from around Peterson's net. Stolen and dropped back off to the point. Lotus sent that all the way around for a shot that went wide of Peterson's goal. And her luck was Alyssa McKinnon. This puck is brought in by Baker. Wraparound attempt, comes back out in front, and it deflected back onto Peterson, who had to stretch back to that near post with the right pad to make the save on McNeil, who didn't even get all of it, but still enough on the deflection to almost sneak a puck in there to the short side. taken by McDougal. Sends one towards goal. That was waved at by Peterson. As McDougal will get it back straight away. Shot deflecting. In on goal, and Peterson had to fight that off with the blocker. A little bit of friendly fire came in onto the goaltender. Never made any easier when it catches one of your own teammates, and that was Shanahan, I believe, who that puck had hit. Ace will play this across the blue line. Shot deflects off the outside of the cage. Right around the left wing side for McNeil. She'll toss this puck in deep as her team needs to make a wholesale change. Cleared out off the glass. Absorbing a hit there was Wotton. As McKinnon is under pressure here, a backhand drive. Taken off the outside of the net. Bettel chipped this puck back in deep. Smith was in pursuit as it comes around to the near side. As Lefebvre tried to advance, could not. Punched back ahead toward Lefebvre, but it's once again the stick of Bettel there to break things up. He had that drive towards the net, trying to stuff one in. As RNS wants to expand on this 2-0 lead they've built. Feeling confident with how things have been going. Starting with the play of Sophie Peterson, who's come up with some important saves already in this hockey game. Deflected on the Blanchard stick, and she'll send this in. Rihanna Pepe was in pursuit. Puck taken ahead by Somerville. It was stripped by Grevy. She'll dump this back in. Off the end wall, Shanahan. Up to the line, but not out. Puck played now on for Sass. Backhand try, kicked off of Somerville. Shanahan was knocked down. Somerville plays it around the wall. Could not be held in here by Mount. A chance up the ice, 2-on-2. Thomas turns towards goal, but couldn't get the shot through. It was blocked by Katsilotis. Able to get a clear. In this period of the long change for both teams, this is sailed back down the ice. No icing though. Finally McDougal pulls it up the boards and out. McDougal gets it back and finds options open along the right wing side as it's dumped in. Lace trying to backhand it around her own goal, forced to turn it up to the near side. Mount hustles to look to hold the puck in. Wedged up along those near side boards. Dug out and played back to the point. Williamson will scale it in deep along the glass. Taken back though by RNS, and with one hand on the stick, it can be deflected out of the zone. Gracie Kennedy. Trouble here perhaps for Mount. Stumbling behind the net with Williamson. Puck comes out high for a shot. Somerville unable to get that through the traffic. Now it's brought back ahead by McPhee. Her long shot, patted aside by Peterson. She was at the tail end of the shift. It's Avery McPhee who heads off to the bench to change. As Giosi will stick this over to the near side. Played nearly 6 minutes into this second period. Still no change in score. Mount will carry it in, 2-on-2. Baker driving, bottom of the circle, shot right on. Peterson the save, had to look over the left shoulder. Was able to keep that puck out to the short side. And across the red line, Gogan will dump a puck in deep. Alyssa McKinnon there first to chip it back up the wall. And it's McNeil now. And we advance up that left wing side. McNeil up to the blue line. Dump this puck in deep. Shanahan all the way around. She gets some help. This puck is led onto the stick of Zeeland. Zealand back across. She tried to connect with Urquhart, I believe that was, heading to goal. Urquhart just got wrapped up enough there from behind legally by Katsoulotis. As Thomas will backhand a puck around. We've got a delayed penalty coming up. Or no, check that. It is the net. It came off behind Petra Giosi. 13 left here in this second period. On March the 13th, we'll have a face-off in the Mount Academy zone as they trail 2-0. This is indeed a Friday the 13th here in the month of March. Feels like we had a Friday the 13th, I want to say back in December. I'll have to go back and check on that. As this puck onto Urquhart's stick, and she'll score! As the puck did not get out along the near side, and RNS finds another way to make Mount pay. And right in between the hash marks, Sophie Urquhart gonna go posting in on the stick side of Giosi. Help expand the lead here for the green and white. 3-0 with 13:01 to go in the second. Looking for a quick counter. It was Pepe right in with the shot. Squeezing the knees. Peterson able to make the save. Her team now ahead by 3 here with still plenty of time to go in this second period and in this game, but Mount needs to find a way. But the next one here on the board, trailing by 3 on the goal from Urquhart, who was nearly set up on that 2-on-1. Zealand trying to go across the crease. They are ultimately rewarded on the ensuing shift. A long ways to go here this morning. Matthews will play this puck back into her own zone. Shanahan turns it off the boards. Matthews did just enough to clear her zone. As Petal backhands it off the wall, and it's back into Williamson's skates. She's being pressured here as the puck was wrapped off the short side, and Yossi with that left skate and pad firmly pinned along the post. Able to make the save and not allow for another one to sneak in, knowing her team can't afford to see the deficit increase any further here. 12:15 to go, second period. Long pass played ahead. Deflects back on to Culligan's stick. Culligan in her own zone, turned into some traffic. As Mount tries to turn the forecheck up. Lace will play it up the near side wing, and it's Underhill. Smith, backhand try, deflecting just wide off a couple of sets of skates. There's a chance in tight, couldn't be fired on goal by Dawson Smith. Cleared out and dumped right back in by Culligan. Behind the play. I believe we get a delayed whistle for icing here. It's focused on them fixing the net behind Giosi. Faceoff comes back down into Peterson's neck of the woods. From the point, sent in wide off the end boards. Wrapped around Peterson's goal. Underhill the first to it. Muscled out of the zone. Thomas reaching for it, couldn't get to it. Zealand played that into the skates of Thomas, was able to get through too. Thomas now closes in and scores! What a goal for Thomas again! Her second of the day, and it's 4-0 as she goes bar down and in. Emily Thomas would not be denied down the right wing side. She was able to get through two Mount skaters. And from the right wing circle, just unleashed a shot high short side. Her second goal of the game, and it's a 4 spot for RNS. As we near the midway mark of this contest with 10:45 to go in the second period. A goaltending change made here for Mount. As they try and find something here to try and turn this game back around, trailing by 4. Allie Blanchard will take over here in between the pipes. Stem the bleeding. RNS looking for more. A shot went wide from Kennedy, as we'll get a whistle here to adjust the net. 2 goals in this game for Emily Thomas. Help the Rock St. Norwood School grow a 2-0 lead into a 4-0 lead. Sophie Urquhart and Adrian Shanahan also adding goals here this morning. Was held in just for a moment off the stick of Ella Bettel, who's had an active stick here in this game. Could be an opportunity as McKinnon weaves her way in, but the shot gets blocked on a diving effort. Sprawling out to get her stick on it was Rhea Culligan. She sends that chance up and into the screen as Mount trying to remain optimistic in this game, down by 4. They've had their looks at Peterson. They need to find a way to get through here with 9:35 left in this second period. Way back up to the point. Shot gets blocked off the skates of Urquhart. Round to the near side. Bowie was forced to retreat defensively as Zeeland pushed that through into the skates of Rowan. Urquhart will strafe it back in deep. Zeeland just to throw a check. Gets played up the boards. And Herring couldn't find any teammates up the ice further. RNS has done a good job in this game to make life difficult out in neutral ice. Metro will gain the red line and snap a puck in. Penny from out of the corner, unable to connect there on a pass as it's held in briefly at the point. Coming free for Thomas. She'll dump and head off for a change. Williamson on an indirect feed. Sees this puck knocked ahead. McNeil is in pursuit. As Shanahan looked to get tripped up, trying to escape the zone. No call, though. This puck is repossessed by McNeil. Able to fiddle it to herself. Neal trying to cross the red line, but she sees the puck forced back into her own zone. It kicks back from McDougall. Good stick coming again out in neutral ice, that time from Kennedy. As they try to use the glass to send a puck down, it rolls in onto Peterson, no icing. Long pass intended for Bettel was broken up by McDougall. Then turned over as Mount tried to go up the middle. Claire Bettel getting in the way. She'll protect in center. Deflects back out high. Ella Bettel from the circle on the far side sees that puck worked over to the boards. I'm trying to get out of their own zone here. As Grevy will bank this puck ahead off of Pepe. Pepe is in pursuit. Played back to her in deep, below the goal line. They'll work for it still. Pepe working 1-on-2 and now gets some support here. Revy trying to join the fight. Pepe will take it to the outside. Trying to get past defenders. Pepe shooting, and that shot sticks into the chest of Peterson. Will rebound as she'll hang on with 6:41 left here in this second period. Could be an opportunity for RNS as Thomas nearly had the puck sitting for her, but it just hopped on her blade at the last moment. She would have had a golden look for the hat trick. Chop back in deep. Thomas is all over the backside of McDougall. This puck is kicked on to McPhee. On the left wing side, McPhee with a pass that was behind the intended target of Lefebvre. This puck gets through Broten from the circle. Shot gets stopped by Haley Blanchard, her first save since coming into this game. It's an important one here in the latter stages of this second period as the puck gets cleared out of play. Had to take that one up high, close to the chin there. Was able to fight the shot off as we'll drop the puck here at center ice. Face-off is won. Olivia Bowie tried to pass over D to D. Williamson could not clear the zone. Bettle, who's been a nuisance here in this game and in a complimentary way, has made life very difficult on these Mount skaters. She comes back defensively there to get a chop as this puck nearly rattled in off of Lace. Peterson, though, was ready. She had eyes to it. It's taken here from the corner. I believe that was Penny who went down there on some contact. As Bettle couldn't corral the pass, it's taken back by Mount from inside their own line. Dangerous feed there, telegraphed. Brought back down the wing. Kennedy trying to step towards goal, and we've got a whistle here. Coming, I believe, for offside, although that came a bit late, as it looked like Kennedy had entered in with the puck legally. Must have been a player in along the far side who was just a stride or two in before. That would have been another golden look. Baker trying to carry this puck in. Fumbled it. That time much more clearly offside on that rush. Out looking to get just one back here on the scoreboard before we hit the intermission. RNS with 2 goals in the first and 2 here in the second. A pair for Emily Thomas in this game. Smith will dump this puck in deep. Sass there to move it along. Keep at the line. Underhill's shot. Sticked aside by Blanchard. McNeil muscles it ahead. Baker back for McNeil. Shot turned aside by Peterson. And the rebound twisted right back up the middle as it splits the defense. That's Solotis. Gave that puck away to Zeeland. Smith at the end of her shift able to play it in deep. As Zeeland remains dogged on the forecheck. There along with Urquhart and Thomas. This puck will just leave the zone. Herring will grab and dump in as Somerville is back behind her own goaltender to try and protect this puck. 2 Mount players are there to meet her. As they couldn't work this ahead to Thomas. A chance came out in front. Peterson, her biggest save as this is flung back in, and another stop off the left pad for Peterson. Held in as Broughton will send it into the corner. Puck off the top of the glass. It'll stay in play as it's pinned up and freed. Stepping in, Pepe with a shot, and that's right into the chest of Peterson. Able to hang on as Somerville, after the whistle, exchanged a shot up high and got Addison Grevy, who went down. 3 big saves here late in the second period. As Sophie Peterson continues to thwart these Mount skaters with 2:57 left in the second. Emily Somerville is going to head to the box for cross-checking. And Mount is going to get their second power play of this game, a chance to get on the scoreboard, but Peterson has been standing tall through nearly 40 minutes here this morning. I believe that was Grevy who had the point-blank chance. She stopped off the right pad, and then 2 more saves in that sequence, which, after the whistle, saw Somerville just exchange 1 too many shots that time with Grevy. She got pretty cleanly with the cross-check. Was unable to cash in on their power play back in the first period, but now trailing by 4. If they want to turn this game around, it's got to start here, as Somerville will sit for 2 minutes. And these green and white penalty killers will dig in for the second time here in this game. Start by winning the face-off. Shanahan, though, couldn't get to that puck in the near side corner. As it's played up to the point. Broughton into the circle for a one-time drive that was stuck aside by Peterson. Here's a deflection. Just went wide to the stick side. Near miss there for Mount. As getting the tip was Avery McPhee, who goes back to patrolling the front of the net. This puck is broken up and cleared down the ice by Bettle. He's out there to start the kill along with Kennedy, as Kennedy will turn this back in onto the goaltender Blanchard. Fresh penalty killing forwards will come out here for RNS as McPhee carries in. Couldn't leave that puck off for Penny, as it's taken back and drilled out through Broughton. Play it over to McDougall. Carry it in down the right wing, dropping it off. Sass for Penny. Gets held in. Pepe will hand it off. It's played across the crease by McDougall. He's set out high by Pepe. Grevy turning, trying to get away from Zeeland. Had her locked up pretty good as McDougall steps in for that shot. Peterson able to look around the traffic and snare it with the glove. 29 seconds left in this power play for Mount. $1:26 to go in the period. Taken out shorthanded here by Urquhart. Urquhart driving to the net. She put that off the bar. Crossbar and out, as it was nearly a shorthanded goal for Sophie Urquhart, which would have been her second of the game. It's offside here at the attacking line for Mount, as we don't have the benefit of instant replay, but that came out so quickly that at first blush I thought that it appeared bar down and in. Somerville is out of the box. This puck is rolled all the way back down and wide of Blanchard's goal. Picked up here by RNS as Matthews tried to center. Oh, he had gone down to the deck to take away the ice. It's back up to the point for Lace. She'll lay it in deep with under 40 to go in the period as this is wrapped out into the slot. McKinnon there defending as bodies toppled down to the ice. That was Baker going down over Matthews. 25 to go here in the period. Kennedy will hand this puck off. Lace shooting through a crowd, and Blanchard never saw that as it went wide to the stick side. Some near misses for RNS late here in this second period. Under 10 to go as they bring this puck back in, but it's offside with 6.5 to go in this second period. And a 4-0 lead for the green and white. As Mountain Academy 0 for 2 on the power play here this morning and struggling to find ways to crack Sophie Peterson, who's been excellent here. We're now 40 minutes of hockey as the final few seconds bleed off of the clock. 40 minutes in the books here from the New England Sports Village. Our first game of day one of these JWHL playoffs. RNS ahead of Mountain Academy 4-0 as we'll take our first intermission here, make a fresh sheet of ice and return for the final 20. That's coming up next here from the New England Sports Village. We're back after this. Back here inside the New England Sports Village for the third period between RNS and the Mount Academy. The visitors ahead 4-0 through 2 periods of play. They led 2-0 after 1. Managed to tack on 2 more goals in the second. Sophie Urquhart getting on the board, and then Emily Thomas scoring her second goal of the game. A towering wrist shot high to the short side. Chased starting goaltender Petra Giosi for Mount. Allie Blanchard has taken over in net. For RNS, Sophie Peterson has been excellent in between the pipes through 40 minutes of play. She'll look to keep it up here for one more period. As we're back underway here from Attleboro. And we'll see how things close out here between these two teams. 4th-seeded Mount and 5th-seeded RNS. Mount will play later on in the day at 3 o'clock against Washington, who I believe just closed out a 3-2 win over the Junior Flyers next door. Junior Flyers would be the team that RNS sees later on in the day as well. I believe those are our 3-3 10 games later this afternoon. But meanwhile, this morning, they've got a 4-0 lead. And are looking to close it out. Mount off the draw, plays it back in deep. Nearly came loose out of the short side. Peterson was down with the stick turn to prevent a pass as it's locked up along the near side. Back up to the point for Alyssa McKinnon. Her pass was too far forward. She tried to play that across the line. Did not connect with Katsulotis. As McKinnon turns inside of her own zone. And send it out indirectly as it's held in, now up to the line. Shanahan shot. It's blocked down off of Katsulotis' legs and wide. On ahead now, maybe a 2-on-1 here. Baker down the right wing side. She'll fire, and Peterson had that puck stick under her left leg as she once again checked over the shoulder. Had that puck pinned up along the ice as Baker tried to sneak that one through. Baker wins the faceoff. The puck back up to the point. Got through Williamson, and now Smith has a step to the net, and she'll score! Dawson Smith got the step towards goal, and early here in the third, the lead continues to grow as RNS has made it 5-0. And they once again transition defense into offense. Baker won the faceoff in the attacking zone, but Smith able to get to that puck and get it around Williamson. She had the step just enough to get in on goal and beat Blanchard cleanly to the stick side. Fourth different goal scorer here this morning for RNS. They now lead by 5. That goal coming just a minute and 37 seconds into the third. As Kennedy gets to the red line and takes a pretty good thump there in front of the Mount bench. The penalty call. Shanahan holds the line. Across she goes. Laces shot. Never got through as it was knocked down by McDougall. They're back out off the stick of Shanahan. Mount will make a wholesale change as this puck is picked up from around Peterson's goal. Ace will gain the red line and now the blue line. Still being kept to the outside as she tried to center off the stick of Thomas. Only could get a backhand touch to that as a wing-to-wing pass is on. Herring shot, fought off by Peterson. Rebound taken by Grevy. Bottom of the circle. Her shot was blocked off of Shanahan. Grevy off the boards. Nifty self-pass. Takes a shot. And sees it kicked aside by Peterson off the left leg. Back in and picked up by Bowie. Rammed back in deep by Culligan. This puck is played around the net. Bowie's pass is going to ricochet up to the right wing side where it's grabbed and dumped in by Mount. McPhee applying the pressure. Ella Bettel could not clear it as McPhee was slowed down on a good stick check from Underhill in back of the goal. Gogan going to get a hold of this puck and clear. Williamson unable to milk out an icing. She'll pass it up the near wing to Penny. Penny trying to cut middle as McPhee able to stay on side. Penny back to the point. Shot from Broughton went wide. As this puck will deflect back into the RNS zone. They're going to diffuse things here as Shanahan tries to step forward. She got the original clear and she'll send this puck in deeper around the boards. Shanahan holding it in. Lay it down into the corner. It's worked around here by Baker. Baker off the woodwork. Dumped in deep. Sass, I believe, is going to get whistled here for a penalty. The puck is touched up. RNS will get their first power play of the day as it's going to be a cross-checking penalty on Sass with 14:46 to go in the third. And a chance for the green and white to see their lead grow even more here as they're up by 5. Urquhart to the outside. Rides it up to the point. Culligan goes across. Underhill was able to force the pass through Blanchard as it's dug out from the corner. Played right across the crease off the outstretched stick of Urquhart. Culligan for Urquhart. Dragging it into the slot. Couldn't get the backhand through as it's tipped on goal. Blanchard the save. Poked the rebound free and out able to get it clear courtesy of Lefebvre, who was positioned out high in the right spot. Up played on for Thomas. Thomas returned to the forehand. Get it up the wall. Urquhart back for Thomas. She'll rattle it in deep for Zeeland. And we'll play to the outside. Lace takes it up to the blue line and hands it off. Urquhart has Thomas standing off to the side, and Thomas will take over. Back up to the line for Lace. Now far hash, that one-timer. Drilled over top of the net and wide as Thomas lays it across for Lace. Stick handling, high slot, shot. Deflecting in towards goal, and I think Blanchard got a piece. 30 seconds to go on this power play as it's handed off to Urquhart on the left wing. Urquhart from the goal line trying to feed it in front, and it's going to deflect in as Blanchard was moving across from right to left. And I think that puck caught some friendly fire off one of the Mount defenders and in as she tried to reach back to the right side. Bettel looks like she's leading the line for RNS. It's Claire Bettel, I believe, who's going to get credit for the goal. It's a power play goal at that, which will put The green and white ahead by 6. 6-0 with 13:06 to go in this third. Six to nothing here, as Peterson will sweep this puck aside and keep the play moving. Underhill, and it's stolen away. Pepe, though, lost it as it's chiseled out off the glass. Ahead to Dawson Smith. He's got one of the 2 goals here in this third period. As the lead has grown now up to 6 for the visitors, who will dump this puck back in. Pepe trying to chop the puck through Lace, but it's Shanahan there as the next layer. And off the referee's skates as Shanahan was sent down to the ice on some contact from Grevy. Play back across, got Salotis. Has to venture back into her own zone for this puck. She's feeling the heat. Playing it up and along the wall. This puck launched ahead. Herring's got numbers with McPhee going to goal. Herring's shot got deflected in on, and Peterson read that perfectly to get the pads down for the save. Intercepted by Underhill. In the circle, her shot was blocked. Couldn't get it through. Broden. Fluttered ahead for Herring. And a backhand that through. Culligan, who knocked it down. Underhill finds Gogan tape to tape. Couldn't backhand that in further down the wall. It's sent across the zone. Picked up by McNeil, and she'll wedge it out off a glove. Picked up here by Sass. Her shot blocked, rebound there, and they'll score! First shot blocked off the legs of Underhill, but it ricocheted right onto the tape of Baker, and she gets Mount on the board. With 10:40 to go in the third, it's 6-1. As Baker's able to find her spot high stick side. Reese Baker spoils the shutout for Sophie Peterson here in this third period. As we just about hit the halfway mark. Mount finally on the board, though. It's 6-1. As Thomas will pick this puck up and look to re-enter. Handing it off to Urquhart. She'll trickle it back in deep. Thomas down there with one of the Mount defenders as Shanahan plays it back into the corner. Thomas for Urquhart. Back up for Shanahan and across. It's played by Lace off the boards. Big shift here for RNS in the attacking zones. Shot coming in from Shanahan was deflected off the legs of Sasswell wide. As the penalties coming up here on RNS, McNeil had the stick hacked out of her hands. Another power play coming up for Mount. It'll be their third of this game as Zeeland will sit 2 minutes for slashing. Released. I thought there was a penalty. Zealand went into the box and stepped out of the box, and they end up dropping the puck here in the Mount zone. There's no penalty on the play. That's bizarre, as this puck is held in and sent just wide on a shot from Gogan. That looked like a slashing penalty along the far side. The stick got taken out of McNeil's hands, and Zealand was making her way to the box, but I'm not sure what happened as we remain at 5 aside. Lotus will dump this puck in and look to chase after it as it's played back up the near boards, but not out. 6-1 our score here in this third period. As Blanchard tried to knuckle one towards goal. It's McKinnon now looking to center. Puck was available there at the top of Peterson's crease as RNS was just enough to clear. Lefebvre touch it back down the boards, and it's Somerville now. Lost the handle. Mulligan there to support. Pushing it up towards the line. Not out of the zone just yet. Somerville paddles that puck away from Herring. Mulligan on the backhand. Couldn't clear it through Grevy. Pepe right at the blue line. Once again keeps it alive as Herring couldn't push it towards goal. Back up the wall, but RNS having some trouble clearing as they can now escape, but only as far as the red line as Broughton's pass did not connect with Herring back up the left wing. Kennedy looking for an opening here to try and escape her own zone. Dangerous drop pass. It was nearly out of the reach of both of her teammates back there on defense. On the regroup, dropped that in for a shot. Bettel snapped it wide, stick side. She was working all by herself. As fresh legs are there behind her. It's Urquhart carrying it in along the right wing side. Urquhart in deep, protecting the puck here on her backhand as she spins it to Thomas. Thomas had it poked off of her blade. As it comes back up the boards. Gets flipped ahead, and here comes Herring. Or rather, Tenney, excuse me. And he was trying to split defenders. And it looks like this time a penalty will be coming. Urquhart is going to sit 2 minutes here for, I believe, tripping. So Mount, who are 0 for 2 on the power play, will have an opportunity to try and tack on another goal here as they'll go back to work. At Solotis, dangerous pass, trying to play it over to Broughton. Good active stick from Matthews along the blue line. From along the near side, Kennedy teams up with Underhill to get the clear. So thanks all the way back down into Mount territory. Kennedy forces a turnover. That allows for Matthews to dump it into an open corner. They both had excellent games here defensively. Brought in by McPhee. She plays that through the blue and out the other side. Somerville was there watching her. Puck in off the skates of McPhee. And then by Broughton at the line, and she'll rattle it in down the boards. McPhee needs a change, and RNS will take it as an opportunity to risk this puck all the way down. They remain on the kill here. Held in by McNeil into the high slot. She'll veer wide. Trying to find Sass for a tip. That was broken up by Lace. Up down at the line. Good play from McDougall. Couldn't get over to the near side that time to close off the wall. It's cleared out past her. Penalty time should be winding down here. As on the power play still, it's brought in by McDougall for a shot off the skates of Lace. has it here and has the opportunity to clear on a roll all the way back down to Blanchard, who's going to cover up on this puck. Both Jayla Matthews and Gracie Kennedy been a real active presence for RNS defensively. They've been out on the penalty kill multiple times here this morning. A really good job to lead the way as forwards trying to pinch in defensively. For over 50 minutes of hockey, they kept this Mount team stymied and off the board. Well, Reese Baker was finally able to break one through Peterson. 2:45 left here in this game. 6-1 our score. Both of these teams will be in action later on in the afternoon as penalty's going to come here late. This one will be on Mount Academy as some frustration perhaps showing a bit from McKinnon. Cross-checking assessed as the penalty to Herb. That is Kirsten McKinnon, who will all but likely sit for the rest of this game. As Mount gets the clear. Under 2 minutes to go in the third period. Peterson will set it up for Shanahan, whose goal back in the first kick-started the goal-scoring party for RNS. Goals from Shanahan, Smith, and Urquhart. Thomas adding a pair of goals, and we believe it's Ella Bettel who got credited for the, or Claire Bettel rather, who had gotten credited for the power play goal, which was the sixth scored by the green and white. We're looking for another one here on the power play. Short side chance. Blanchard down along the far post. Able to squeeze things off and hang on. That puck's sitting in her glove. Puck will be cleared back down off the glass. Peterson will set it aside for Culligan. It's tied up. Goes down to the ice with one of the Mount players. Under 40 to go. This puck gets dug out. Bettel's pass intended to lead Smith in across the blue line. She goes offside. As with the clock running down, 20 seconds to go here. 2 goals apiece in each period for RNS, who led 2-0 after 1, 4-0 after 2. They built up the 6-0 lead before Reese Baker would get one back for Mount. This time is going to run out here officially, and RNS opens up day one of these JWHL playoffs here from Attleboro with a resounding 6-1 victory here over Mount Academy, backstopped by Sophie Peterson, who was excellent in between the pipes for 60 minutes of play. Posted a shutout for just about 50 of those 60 minutes before Baker was able to spoil it. But a well-balanced attack also leading the way for the green and white. We get a pair of goals from Emily Thomas. 5 different goal scorers contributing to a 6-1 win as RNS takes it by that final score over Mount Academy. Both of these teams back in action this afternoon as day 1 of 3 officially underway here from the New England Sports Village. Be sure to stick with us the rest of the way. Got plenty of hockey coming up the rest of this Friday and the rest of this weekend. But for now, your final score here this morning sees the Rothesay Norwood School defeat the Mount Academy 6-1. Your final.
Oh, 44. I don't know who else will be on this rink. But that's something you can always just do. Just unplug it in between the games so we can give it juice. I'll see you on Sunday. I'll be here for I think it's the first one on Sunday morning. So
Yeah, I'm
I'll see you then.
the first and the last one.
Nice to meet you, Sadie. Take care.